Alright, tonight we're standing Waikiki because we're not walking anywhere. Just want to talk quickly about the subconscious. I did a video recently talking about how your subconscious can really fuck you over. And it can. But it's just a tool of your brain. It's not necessarily a bad thing or a good thing. It's what you program it with. The problem is all the bad things when they say TV programs you, or they use these mind control things, MK Ultra style brain control stuff. It's imprinted on the subconscious. That's where all that stuff is stored. Anything where they want to program or suggest you do something or behave a certain way, it's always the subconscious that does that. Government is the major mind control. Well, the Latin for mind is ment, and to govern is to control, so government. And that's where all the media programming comes from, and the brainwashing stuff comes from. But it doesn't necessarily mean like your subconscious is a bad thing, because you can train it yourself to do good things, or to do beneficial things. A lot of stuff that I do, or the way I feel about things instinctually sometimes, is a subsequent actions that have been done in the past, and I've kept my mind on and stored it in my subconscious. I know not to, go down this street, or I know not to use this kind of currency, whatever. I mean, whatever, from the simple to the complex. Now, the idea that there is possibly a representative of the system, I gotta get a better name for this thing. Matt calls it the not milk, but I don't want to clip his word. The thing is, this leads back to another problem. We don't have these universal terms for stuff. So depending on the schizo you're watching, you could get very lost in what they're talking about, because you have to, you got to dodge the algorithm, one thing. So sometimes you can't be too plain, and then other times there just isn't agreed upon terms for some of this stuff. So the system being the opposing force, Satan, whatever, the deceit in the world, the thing that makes this a test, may or may not have a representative of that system, or an extension of that system, sharing a car with you or sharing a body with you. I don't think, even if that is true, as we were debating, or I was debating, and you didn't have anything to do with that, because this isn't a two-way situation quite yet. Even if that is true, they can't control your subconscious from inside there. The subconscious remains a neutral tool. Now, they can say a bunch of stuff to you in your mind, or try to influence you in that way while they're in the car, possibly, as we don't know if they're in the car, or the body of the other car. But for all the bad your subconscious can do to you, you can also program it yourself to do good stuff. And to program it or to reprogram it, the main thing is repetition. I was watching a U.S. soldier talk about how they would get them to sleep on a busy battlefield. And he said you had to erase thoughts from your mind. He said, so when he was giving a whole thing of how to fall asleep, and he said, but you'll get these thoughts in your head as you're trying to sleep, and you want to go, don't think, don't think, don't think, don't think, don't think, don't think. You don't have to imagine something in the way of like making a construct or magic or stuff like that. Repetition is what'll do it. That example especially, your brain doesn't have time to think when you're just, repetition is a good way to program your subconscious, among many other ways. In our case, though, as far as getting rid of bad stuff, a lot of it feels like you want to deprogram your subconscious. I think it's easier to program it yourself to try to undo some, well, I guess it is deprogramming, but instead of trying to stop your subconscious from going a certain way, you find a positive opposing method that will even that out. I'll have to come up with some examples of that, because I've really just only started looking into the subconscious thing. I've known how it functions for years, but it just seemed like such a daunting task to try to rewire some of it. But I don't think you have to rewire it, like I'm saying here. I'm starting to think you could just kind of make your own program, like a positive program, that while it doesn't undo the stuff that's already there, it might combat it somehow, or equalize it somehow. Just thoughts from up here on the corner of Lewis Street on a lovely warm night. A lot of some people out. What time is it? 7:30? 7:30, yeah. And embarrassingly enough, once again, it's Thursday. Yeah, it's Thursday. Okay. Thursday's usually pretty good here. I mean, every night is usually pretty good. People tend to come in on Wednesdays and Thursdays, or like a new batch will come in for like the weekend, like a new group of tourists. So it's usually pretty hopping Thursday and Friday. But yeah, I was just thinking about that subconscious stuff and just thought I'd make a note. Don't blame the teacher, blame the school.